This experience is of the time when I was around 8 to 9 years old, and it was the month of fasting as it is now. Everybody at home was observing it, but I can tell you some were just starving themselves, which became very clear to me later. Me and my sister went to school, got really tired, came back, and there were a couple of hours left before we could break our fast. There was nobody at home, parents were at work. We locked the main door. In no time, we were fast asleep as children. But within a couple of hours, I remember, one or two, I woke up in intense burning pain in my legs, which to this day I cannot comprehend. I can't process that still, like how. But the moment I opened my eyes, I see my monster of a father standing next to me with a thin stick in his hand, and he kept beating me. I could not understand why. What did I do? I was just sleeping. Everything is okay. I haven't made a mistake. But why? Then my mother tells me, well, we had to wait outside. We were knocking the door. Nobody was opening. Probably you were deep asleep. I was telling him to be patient. I don't know if that is true or not, because she herself is a covert narcissist. Maybe she might have instigated him as well, added fuel to the fire. Who knows? But anyways, he comes in with extreme rage, loses all temper and control, takes it out on us, and I still to this day cannot forgive him for that. Because fasting is all about patience. Fasting is all about overriding your animalistic instincts, your drives, and he failed me that day. You may be wondering, well, why are you telling me all this? Well, it has everything to do with the religious aspect of narcissism. No matter how active a narcissist is religiously, it is still fake, and today I will prove that to you. I am Danish, a narcissistic abuse recovery professional. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. In this episode, we are going to talk about the fake religious narcissist, how they put on a facade to fool people, how they use religion as a mask. If that sounds interesting and you're eager to learn more with me, please make sure to subscribe before we begin, because as I always say, your subscription to this channel helps in spreading awareness about narcissistic abuse. Let me tell you this thing first. A narcissist does not believe in any religion, no matter how godly they pretend to be. They create their own personal religion in which they are their own God. And they would not ever tell you that. They will come across as God-fearing, obedient, subservient to God, and they would always weaponize God in multiple ways to justify their abuse and their behavior. To them, God is an extension of the false self, an entity that is all forgiving, but only to the narcissist, all enabling and all accepting. The entity that is almost a projection of this parent they never got to have in the human form. Narcissists use religion as a mask to hide their true nature. They are callous, they are demonic, their conscience is dead. They do not have a working moral compass. They don't care about being right or wrong. They only care about the outcome, and they do everything to get it. All of which is anti any religion. They wear this mask to fool people. They make people think, oh, this narcissist is a godly person. He lives for and through God. But the truth is they only live for themselves, and their own God is their false self, their own ego that they worship. You may have a narcissist who prays 5 times. I'm talking about a Muslim narcissist. And then you may have a Christian narcissist who goes to church every Sunday, and maybe another narcissist who follows their religion in and out, and still they can be rot on their core. Because people get confused. How come somebody prays so much and pretends to be so pious, but at the same time they are so bad, so abusive? These two things do not go together. If somebody is religious, we assume they are going to be good. They will be nice to others. They can't be abusive, because in your opinion, a godly person is compassionate, is going to be empathetic. But that is your understanding. In a narcissist's mind, the distinction does not exist. They can be godly and at the same time being anti everything God stands for. All of this became evident when my father revealed his true demonic nature to me. Earlier, when I gave you the example, I shared that experience with you. I can still feel that pain in my legs. It's somatic trauma. He lost all his patience when that was the point. He was fasting. He wasn't fasting. He was starving himself, because fasting is about controlling your impulses, being in touch with your super ego, with your desires, everything. It's about getting yourself in control, understanding yourself further. But that to him was nothing but an act. Like brushing is to you. Brushing cleans your teeth, but is it of any greater significance? I say no. The same thing is applicable when it comes to a narcissist performing any religious activity. They become religious not to find greater meaning to life, but to control people, but to appear a certain way and gratify their image. Most narcissists know if they appear religious, it's highly likely that people are going to give them a free pass, and nobody is going to doubt their nature, and everybody is going to think, oh, because this is a religious person, knows the scripture and talks the scripture, talks about God all the time, they must be kind and nice. That is not true in all cases, which is not to say every religious person is a narcissist. Of course not. That would be foolish to say. What I'm trying to say is almost every single religious narcissist is a fool, because they do not know, rather they do not want to know the deeper meaning of what they are doing. They are just doing it for the show. As a child, I remember praying to God, please destroy my father. That day when I was fasting, because I was crying in pain for no reason. I couldn't understand why. I'm a child, so what? I couldn't hear you. He somehow broke in and climbed over the wall, found a stick. That is how calculated he was, and then beat us up, me and my sister. We were crying, everybody was crying, and then I started hating these religious practices, because is this what it stands for? Now I know it's not that. It's just that he had created his own personal, unique version of it, where his actions were normal and justified. It's crazy to me how, but that is how it is. Religious narcissists are the biggest phonies ever, biggest scamsters, fraudsters, and at the same time, the most dangerous types of narcissists. Why? Because they use scripture. They have a lot to say. They can manipulate you left, right, and center, throw verses at you, and then this messenger, this prophet, this person said so and so, according to which you are wrong and you have to be obedient to me and I have authority over you. That is the brainwashing. That is the manipulation. That is the gaslighting. The religious gaslighting is extremely difficult to deal with. I'll talk about my personal experiences in Muslim culture, and this is not against any religion. Religious Muslim narcissists use scripture a lot to justify their treatment of the children and why their children are obligated to keep serving them, and why it is a sin to say anything back or to not to be obedient enough, and why you have to be always there no matter what the parent is doing to you. But as much as I understand these things, I can tell you God is not unjust, neither is it unmerciful. He knows what is best for you, and he would never want you to settle for what harms you, even if it is your own parent. Just because they have given you birth does not mean you owe them your life. It's okay to leave them. It's okay to leave the source of your pain. It is not just applicable to parents. It's applicable to any religious narcissist in your life who uses their understanding of religion against you to make you behave a certain way or to make you do certain things. It is not done. It's not okay. And you have to listen to your intuition. If it tells you no, that is not what it says, or that is not what it means, then listen to it. Don't fall for their crap. They know how to follow the script. They don't care about what the scripture or God says. They will appear godly, but They don't care about what godliness means. They only care about the outcome, as I was explaining to you earlier. For as long as they get what they want, they will continue doing what they shouldn't be doing. Just because somebody appears religious does not automatically mean they are going to be pious. You need to deeply embody that and understand that religion should give you freedom. It never ties you, and you have to find your personal meaning of what applies to you and what you want to follow, not what somebody forces on you. That is what I wanted to share with you today, my experiences and so on. Share your experiences in this context in the comments below. And with that, let's bring this episode to an end. I will talk to you in the next one. Until then, as always, let the healing begin and continue.